everybody. Hello. Man, another week down in the history books, everyone. We've made it, though. We're here. We've made it through another week. Congratulations, everybody. I'm your host, as always, Marco Alvarado, and I want to welcome you to closing out the week with yours truly. How has your week been? I'll wait. Tell me. Well, if you said that it was good, I am glad. I hope things continue that way. If you said that it was not so hot, I feel it, man. I feel it. You know, you got to take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. You know, we got Joe Biden elected last week. Pretty high point for a lot of Americans out there. A low point for a lot too, but, you know, for most of the people I know in my life, pretty high point. But we can't always be high. We got to come down. And this past week, I think a lot of people have come down. A lot more than you would like. Come down with something. Come down with COVID-19. Because that's what we're going to be talking about on this week's episode of Closing Out the Week. COVID has basically, resurged in the past couple weeks. Now we are entering a third wave. A third wave of COVID. Isn't that fucking crazy, man? Isn't that crazy? So, states and cities issue a new COVID-19 guideline and guidelines as cases spike. The U.S. reported more than 1,500... Wait, what? The U.S. reported more than 152,000 new coronavirus cases on Thursday, which shatters the highest ever record set, which was on Wednesday. Across the country, elected officials are imposing new lockdowns, including Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, whose city is logged around 1,900 new COVID-19 cases a day. Lightfoot on Thursday asked residents not only to leave the house, or only to leave the house for work, school, and essential needs. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo barred gatherings of 10 or more people in the state on Wednesday, among other restrictions, while Indiana backtracked from its stage 5 reopening phase to limit social gatherings, and Ohio issued a mask mandate and is threatening further shutdowns if things don't improve. Public health experts nationwide are advising against family gatherings during the upcoming holiday season. Crazy. Super crazy, but not crazy in the sense like this is unbelievable, crazy in the sense that we're even in this position. It's almost been a year. We're closer to it being a year than it not, right? Since COVID has been in our lives. And yet we cannot get a handle on this thing. We can't. Because, like I said in the beginning, there is only one thing that will truly allow us to get a handle on it. And that is a 6-week shutdown of everything for just 6 weeks. Let the virus die out on its own. If it cannot infect new people, it most likely will die off and get severely weakened. A virus keeps its strength by constantly infecting new people, new hosts. If it infects like a whole house, right, full of people, like let's say my house, I live with my mom, dad, and my little brother. So it infects us 4. We only see each other. You don't see anybody else. We will most likely, if this acts like most other viruses, we will become immune of it to a degree. Most people can get it again, but then if it doesn't mutate, which it can't if it doesn't infect new hosts, then it'll just die. That's the best way. Now, of course, the economy, all this stuff, but what's better, to take that 6-week economic hit and then be able to kind of get things back on track after that 6 weeks? Not back to normal, but we'll be a lot better than we are now. Or continue what we're doing and hope that it just magically goes away, which we know is not going to happen. What are the choice? Like what's another choice? These like half measures, this trying to be in the middle of things, Doesn't really work. We might as well not have any restrictions at this point. I feel. I mean, I don't see them really helping anything because it's not mandatory. There's nothing mandatory about these mandatory restrictions. Businesses have to abide by them. Those are mandatory. But the average everyday person, they don't. They can have people over their houses and stuff. Like there's a lot of, it's hard to regulate that. I get it. But we have to do something drastic because this is a drastic situation. And there are industries in this country that are obliterated because of this drastic circumstance. The music industry, for one, is dead right now. Musicians across the world are losing their livelihoods. But that's fine. Those people, they decided to be musicians. They can go without assistance. That's fine. But the general public can't just shut things down for 6 weeks to give everybody a fair shot at getting over this thing. Give ourselves a fair shot to get over it. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense to not give it a try. We have to, there's got to be something that's done, right? Because, as all of you know, this is a California-based podcast, and in California, things are getting really fucking bad. So California becomes the second U.S. state to top 1 million COVID-19 cases after Texas. Per CNN, California just became the second state to surpass 1 million COVID infections since the start of the pandemic. More than 5,000 new cases and 18 new deaths have been reported so far on Thursday, for a total of 1,631,000 confirmed cases and 18,126 deaths statewide, according to Johns Hopkins University data. Health officials report that like most other states in the country, California's COVID-19 numbers are all trending in the wrong direction. Yeah, no shit. Basically, most counties in the state have taken wrong steps, have taken steps backward in their reopening tier categories. Sacramento County, which is the county I reside in, is now severe again, as is San Bernardino, as is Stanislaus, and also San Diego. There's 8 other counties that have taken steps back on the tier scale. No county in California has taken steps forward in a positive manner this past week. First time it's ever happened. That's not a good sign, right? And it just goes back to, if the federal government isn't going to mandate this drastic measure of a shutdown for 6 weeks, then the states have to take it up upon themselves. And I feel like California would be one of the first ones to do it, but they would need federal help. And as long as Trump is in office, that's not going to happen. So I can't see this happening. I can't see that mandatory shutdown happening until Biden's in the office, which is late January. And by that point, the holiday season is gone, but we'll probably be seeing the spikes from the holiday season appear around that time, the spikes in cases. All these cases we're seeing now is from Halloween, because people went out, celebrated during Halloween, acted like nothing was wrong, and now here we are. So because of that, we're in this mess. It's easy to point at, people going out on Halloween. People went out on fucking 4th of July. People went out every weekend during the summer. There's a lot of people that didn't give a shit. So to just blame, it's just Halloween, it's just the crazy kids on Halloween. Yes, they're partly to blame, but there's been people not taking this seriously the entire fucking time. And it's pretty annoying, in my opinion. It's pretty sad, too. An advisor to President-elect Biden did say in a phone interview at a certain point, I believe it was Thursday, that apparently he was suggesting that a shutdown was the only way to solve this thing, and now he's walked it back. So it looks like even Biden wouldn't probably go that way, and for good reason. Good reason for Biden. He has a lot of corporate interests backing him. The corporations don't want that. They don't care about human life. They just want the money. That's all they want. So, of course, he's going to walk that back. That's our situation. That's how things are. That's how our system is. Our system prioritizes the dollar over the human life in almost every sense of the word. I can give you numerous examples. I'm not going to. I don't want to get too political. I already said my piece. But that is our system. Therefore, I don't think we're going to do a shutdown. I don't think that's going to happen. So because of that, because we're not going to do a shutdown, this is what's going to happen. And this is very dark. And I'm sorry to bring it into this negative mood. Don't mean to do that. But this is what's going to happen. More finger pointing and more people going out on weekends pretending like nothing's wrong. Acting like we are still in mid-2019 when we are actually about to enter 2021. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to continue to happen unless Joe Biden and this new administration take drastic steps to curb this virus and take it seriously. Now, they're going to say they take it seriously. They're going to say that. But just because they say it doesn't mean they actually believe it. It doesn't mean that they're going to act on it. They can talk and talk and talk. It doesn't mean that they really give a fuck. So we'll see if they really do. We'll see if they really do. But now it is time for the theme of the week. Yay! Hooray! It's the first time I've done a theme of the week in a long time. About 3 weeks, I think. There have been more pressing matters that took up to more time on this show. So finally, we're entering a lull so I can finally do another theme of the week. You know, I've tried to do themes that maybe can end the episode on an uplifting tone, something that can inspire you. But I'm sorry, this one probably won't, just because it's a very personal thing. And the theme for this week is sleep. I have been getting no sleep recently. I don't know why, but my body is just always tired. But yet when I go to sleep, I always wake up early. Like last night, I went to bed at around 10 p.m. and I woke up this morning at 5 and I couldn't go back to sleep. And then I finally did at like 7:30 and then I woke up again at 8:30. And then I had a class at 9. So it kind of worked out, but I didn't get my 8 hours. And the night before I woke up at 6. I went to bed the night prior to that at 9. So from 9 p.m. to 6. I got actually more sleep that day, but it felt like I didn't. I don't know what's going on with me. I have tried to take melatonin in the past. It didn't really work for me. But you know what? I might go for it. Maybe it's the amount of coffee I drink. I drink a lot of coffee now. I'm trying to do that more than drink like alcohol. So maybe it's the caffeine buildup. I do drink a lot of water too. So you would think that would help. But maybe, I don't know. Is it stress related? I haven't been that stressed out. I don't know. Have any of you struggled with sleep recently? And if so, what did you do to help yourself? What did you do to help that issue? Solve it. Comment below if you're watching on YouTube or if you're on Spotify. What you can do, or Apple Podcasts. What you can do is go to our Instagram at The Closers Podcast, on Facebook at Closers Podcast, and comment on our promo for this episode, and let me know what you do to help yourself sleep, because I need help. And that's all I got for this episode of Closing Out the Week with yours truly, Marco Alvarado. Yeah, like I said, please follow us on Instagram at The Closers Podcast, on Facebook at Closers Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have The Closers Podcast. Next week, Quinn's going to hit you with some Rams hot takes on Monday. And then on Wednesday, Quinn is going to have a old high school Kentucky roundup with some of his buddies from back in the day that still reside in Kentucky, I believe. And they're going to talk on the podcast about growing up over there. You're going to hear some really funny stories. I'm going to be truly a host in that episode, because I really don't know. I don't have any stories with either of the two guests, Kevin, who we've had on before, and Quinn's best friend, Ryan. It's going to be a hoot, holler, and good time. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And I will be back on this show next Friday to close out your week, as always. So with that, I will bid you an adieu. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and stay inside. Thank you.